Hello, welcome everyone. Welcome to QNAP live broadcast. I'm Sam, your host today. And our topic today is introducing the enterprise level new NAS, which is a rack mount type. So we have our PM David here, and David will do all the demo and how to control the new features in today's topic. So let's get into the slides first. And by the slide, we can see that the topic is to introduce the new TS-x77XU. Speaking of U, that it will be a rack mount type. And the feature is below right here, the powered by AMD Ryzen processor with up to 8 cores and 16 threads, featuring 2 built-in G10G SFP Plus ports. So here is all the features that we can see. And let's take a look at the picture of the machine. This is as usual as our rack mount type, but we can see here for the first is the 4-bay. Oh no, that is not a 4-bay. No. We can see the name is a TS-x77XU. Why it is a 977XU, but in a 1U rack mount. We can see here's another 5 SSD slot on the, like the top of the machine. So we have the single power and RP, which is the redundant power. Then we have the 8-bay and 12-bay, also in single power and redundant power. Then we have the 16-bay and 24-bay. But 24-bay, we only supply the redundant power. And then we can see a little bit higher, it is using the AMD Ryzen, which is Ryzen 3, Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7 of the processors. So now we can take a look at all the rack mount type range we have. The newly thing will be the TS-2477XU redundant and the TS-1677 with or without redundant, and 12 and 8 and 9 with or without redundant. And then let's take on the desktop type with the 10 GBST with 2, and we also have the 1677 and which is a 12 3.5 inch and a 4 2.5 inch, and then the TS-1277 which is 8 with 4, and then 877 that is a 6 plus 2, and then 677 will be a 4 plus 2, and that'll be now the X77 family we have. And here is the hardware specification of the processor. Now we can see that all of the processor, the clock speed is above 3.0, and then the top can go to 3.7 gigahertz, and we have 4 core 4 thread, 6 core 12 thread, and 8 core 16 thread. So to be more specific and more completely, to take a look at our products, this page we can see that the naming rule TS-977XU, which with 12200 4 gig, 12 should be the thread, right?
You mean the
1200? Yeah, 1200.
That is the model of the CPU processor, and 4 gig means it equipped with the 4 gigabyte memory. DDR4.
Long DIMM?
Yes, long DIMM.
DDR4 yes. Long DIMM.
Right.
And then we have the
977 and with 1600. So the model name would be, you can see over there, 1600-8 gig. 8 gig means equipped with 8 gigabyte DDR4 memory.
And long DIMM.
Yes, right.
Yeah. And on the right hand side, we are having the redundant power supply. So we can see that we have 2 of the 300 watt of the power supply. And here is the 2U 8-bay machine. We have a single power supply with 350 watt, which is also a Ryzen 3 4 gig. And the redundant power, we have 2 of the 250 watt. So we also have 2 SKU. One is the Ryzen 3 with 4 gig, and the other is Ryzen 5 with 8 gig.
Yes, yeah. Right.
And then the 12-bay also in the same concept, but we have another redundant power. We have the 2077 in 16 gig, which is using the Ryzen 7,
yes.
And it has 2 of the 300 watt.
Yeah, and That is from the 12 bay. We have 1700. That is Ryzen 7 and is much more powerful.
Yeah, and then let's take a look at the 3U, which is the 16 bay. We have a single power in 500 watt, which is 4 gig, and we have the redundant power. We have two of the 500 watt, which also have 4 gig, 8 gig, and 17 gig. That also contains Ryzen 3, Ryzen 5, and Ryzen 7.
Yes, right.
And the last one is the 4U, which is a
24 bay.
Yeah, also I think that is the most powerful in the hardware in all the series, because you can see that we have two 800 watt of the power supply as redundant, and we are using a Ryzen 7 16 gig in default shipment, and we have a Ryzen 5 in 8 gig. So that will be all of the processor and the memory SKU that you can choose. So after we see all the skills, now we are going to do the most important part, is the 77XU hardware introduction. So what we have saw in the first one, the 9 bay, we have four 3.5 inch hard disk, and then another 5 2.5 SSD. So let's take a look at the picture, and later we will show you the real demo of this machine. So David, please.
Yeah, I think before in the QNAP NAS, for especially for the for the 1U, you can see only 1U 4 bay, 3.5 inch hard drive in the front side. But this time we do something different. Still, we have we remain the 3.5 inch SATA port in the front, but we put more ports in the NAS. We put 5 more 2.5 inch port in the NAS. Why we want to do this? Because before 1U 4 bay, it's not easy for you to make SSD cache or have Q tier in your environment, or have you want to have SSD cache volume for high speed access, but it's not easy because you only have 4 bay in the past. But right now with 9 bay, it's much easier for you, no matter you want to enjoy the Q tiering or SSD cache, or you want to create the SSD high speed volume. It's easier with the 9 bay model.
Sure, of course. Yeah. So that is the 9 bay, the structure of how we build a 9 bay NAS. So then we are going to take a look inside. We can see at the left hand side, that is a DDR4 with 4 slots. That is a long DIMM slots. And then we have 4 of the USB 3.0, and then 2 of the 10 gigabit SFP ports. Then we have 2 of the USB 3.1, which is in Type A. And okay, this one we only have 1. And then we also have 2 1 gigabit of the RJ45 ports. And then we can see the big silver part inside. That is a heat sink of the CPU, because we want to make sure that a good efficient of the CPU with the process of 9 hard disks. We want to make sure the heatsink will be always under the best performance. Then we have another in purple line, that is a low profile PCIe 3.0 by 16. So also we will also show you the feature and how can we do the installation. And at the right hand side, that is a redundant power with 2 of the 250 watt. Then we will take a quick look of how can we install the SSD. Well, basically it's very simple. If watching by looking at the picture, you still think I don't really get it, like unscrew and take out what do I have to take out, and then put the hard disk in, and then put what I just took out back, and then screw up. Okay, that will be the 5 installation steps. So we want to show you the real demo, the real installation, and also we will let you know what are the PCIe 16 is.
Because it's a little special in the 1U model.
Yeah, so let's get into the other camera. So this will be our 9 bay of the
NAS. As you can see over here, is in the front side of the 1U NAS. I already removed the top cover. So right now you can see 5 slots over here, I already pre-installed 4 SSDs here, and I left one slot empty. And I will show you how to install the 2.5-inch SSDs.
Yes.
First, there is a screw over here. Just remove the screw, and you can easily take out the tray.
Yes.
And this is for the 2.5-inch SSD, and put your SSD into the tray, and in each side there are 2 holes.
Yes. Yeah, I see.
You see that? Okay. 2 holes in each side, and just fasten the screw. And remember, in our package, we have 2 kinds of screw. One is black one, another one is silver one. For the 2.5-inch SSD, use the black one.
Okay. For the demonstration, we will only screw one.
Yes. Okay, done. And here's the connector. Just put it back and
yeah,
everything is done.
Yeah, that is done.
And remember to fasten your screw back. Okay, so it's easier for this part. And I'm going to show you another part, which is the PCIe slot.
Okay.
We have a PCI slot at the rail side, but the PCI slot we're using a riser card. So there is a metal part. It's a PCIe riser card holder. And if you want to install a PCI card into this slot, you have to release this holder first. There are 4 screw holes here. 1, 2, and 3, 4.
Yeah.
And just remove the screws there, and you can take out the holder and the riser card directly, and then just install your PCI card here, and
then put it back.
Yes, you are right. Okay. And that is the how to install PCI cards in the 1U system.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. So that'll be the demo.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, so let's go back to the slides. After we see the demo, now you know how to install the SSD card and how to install the PCIe. Then we are going to take a front view of all the 2U and 3U bracket. Right here, you can see that we have been using the different of the trays of the design, and that the upper side will be the 12 bay and 8 bay in 2U, and the downward side will be 16 bay and 24 bay in 3U. Sorry, the 24 bay I think is also in 4U or
24 bay, yes, 4U.
Yeah, okay.
The highest 4U.
And then here, because they are having the same front view, so we all have a power switch, light indicators, system status, network, and external expansion enclosures and disk. And they will all show their own the status right here. So it's very easy for the users to see what is going on. And then the power button is also right there. Then the rear view. Okay, for the rear view, the difference, there's a little difference between the 234U and the 1U, because we can see the obvious part is at the PCIe part, because I think the 1U is the PCIe is not straight.
Yeah, because we use a riser card. Yeah, that is the different part. But for the 2, 3, 4, they are all vertical.
Yeah, and I think it's also by the size of the NAS, right?
Yes, right.
Okay, and here for 234U of the NAS, we have USB 3.1 in Type A and Type C. So for Type C, I think Mac can use this.
Yes.
Okay, and the other parts are the same. Like we have 10 gig of SFP and for USB 3.0 in Type A and 2 for the 1 gig network RJ45. So that'll be the rack panel. And by we have 4 of the PCI slot. What can we do with all the PCI slot? Maybe I just need maybe 1 or something.
Okay.
But basically, if you are an enterprise user, you will need high efficient. And how high, we cannot predict for you, and maybe you cannot predict for yourself. So we have this kind of PCI expansion solutions for QM2 card. You can create your you can add more M.2 SSD or another internet port.
Yes.
Or you can use our USB 3.1 Gen 2 expansion that can provide you more USB slot. Or you can use our internet card with 40 gigabit or 10 gigabit. Or you can use the SAS expansion card for another devices. So if you want everything, you can just buy 4 of the PCI cards and put them inside of your 2U, 3U, 4U of the NAS.
Right.
But we will show you a better and a more efficient way to use it later. Here is the PCI slots. Like we can see here, 1U, 2U in low profile and 3U, 4U in full height.
Yes.
And we have to take a close look. The order for the PCIe should be started from the right hand side and 1, 2, 3, 4 from 1 to 4. And in the 4U machine, you will see there is a gap between slot 2 and slot 3, and we will also let you know why it is. Well, the next part I'm gonna hand it into David because that is a very important part.
Okay. In this X77XU series, we provide just like Sam mentioned. For the 2, 3, 4U, we provide 4 PCI slots, and actually the 4 PCI slots. The source is from CPU. There are 16 PCI lanes.
Yes.
Before, maybe we just divide the 16 PCI lanes to 4. So you will get PCI by 4 for each PCI slot. But this time we do something a little bit different. In this slide, at the left hand side, you can see blue and gray slot. The difference is the gray slot means there is nothing in the slot, and the blue slot means you install some cards into this slot. So 1 and 2, slot number 1 and number 2 is just like a pair, a group.
Okay.
Slot number 3 and 4, they are in
another group.
Yes, right. So for example, in the group 1, you have PCI slot number 1 and 2, and if you don't, if the slot number 1 is empty, you can get the PCI Gen 3 by 8 bandwidth.
Okay.
But if you install something of the cards in the PCI slot number 1, you will get only PCI Gen 3 by 4.
Okay.
So the reason we want to do this is we want to support or offer the flexibility to the customer, because some GPU cards, the width is just like a 2-slot wide GPU card. But normally the GPU card needs higher bandwidth. So you can just install the GPU card in the slot number 2 and 4, and you will get the best performance.
Okay, understand.
Yes. So similar situation in our 4U 24-bay models, but just a little bit different. The different part is we switch the position of the slot number 3 and 4. So Sam, if you slot number 1 and 2 is in a group, 3 and 4 is in another group.
Okay.
Yeah. It's exactly same as the 2U and 3U.
Okay. So the next part, we will give you a quick information of all the dimension, and also we will show you in pictures of how you can choose to install all the different PCI card into for you.
Okay. This is the overview of the GPU card slot. So for 8-bay, 12-bay, and 16-bay, we suggest to install the GPU card in the slot number 2 and 4. And for the 24-bay, we suggest to install the GPU card in the slot number 2 and 3, not 4. Okay. And for the 2U we support only low profile. So you will see the high is around 37 millimeter. But for the 3U and 4U, it supports up to 100.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. For the 2U is around 68 millimeter, and for the 3U and 4U, the high is over 100.
Yeah, and we can reach at the top 138.
Yes.
And I can see the length of the 4U is extraordinarily long, like 312.
Right, you are right. And because many GPU cards, they are quite long. It's just like over 200 millimeter. So we designed this especially for the 4U. That means in 4U you can have a 4 high and very long GPU card installed inside.
Okay, so that'll be the supported dimension. And here are this slide is the combination of how you can install your PCIe for 3U. And you can see the blue is the single
one slot,
and the red one means it will occupy 2 slots at the same time. So you can choose neither A or B or C or D to fit your demand and by your own choice in your combination. And here is the next slide for the 4U PCIe card combination. Here's a little bit different, especially on picture B and picture D. So you can see that at picture B, you can put 2 of the thicker PCIe slot for 2, and then 1 of the thinner one. And for D, you can put 3 of the thinner one and 1 of the thicker one.
Yes.
So that will be the different kinds of combination depends on your demand. Then, speaking of all this thing, we have another accessories we want to provide to you. Here is our toolless rail kit.
Yes, we offer customers toolless rail kit, and that is common. Most of the rail kit are toolless, but the key is maximal load. For example, you can see there is part number rail-A02-90. The 90 means the maximal load of the rail kit is 90 kilometer. That means if you if you pull the NAS out of the rack, and the rail can support up to 90 kilogram. Yeah. So why we want to do this? Sometimes you need to install a PCI card. You want to upgrade your memory. But I don't think you want to take out a 4U full loaded hard drive NAS from the top of the rack. It's too heavy. So you need this kind of rail. Just pull it out of the rack, and you can install and upgrade the PCI card and memory easily.
More easier and more convenient.
Yes, right.
So that is why we provide you the toolless rail kit. And then here's another part by you. For me, it's not very often to see that we can provide the 3.1 of the USB. So here is the comparison with the USB 3.0 and 3.1. By our 234U rack mount type, we support you a Type A in 3.1, also another Type C in the 3.1 USB. So okay. In the paper that the transmission speed can go up to 10 gigabit per second. Well, basically it will also based on the material of your cable.
That is just a theory of speed.
So you can use it with your another extra disk or any other extension devices or even your Mac. And here, why we especially want to put this part in the middle of the NAS, because we can support 24 base. And usually enterprises will use this. And when you are running an enterprise, you will definitely need your own surveillance system. So you have a 24-bay NAS, and you can install our surveillance station or QVR Pro. And then for QVR Pro surveillance station, we can support more than 5,000 kinds of the IP cameras in the market. And for surveillance station and QVR Pro, you get all 8 free channels at the first time you install that. And if you need more, you don't forget to purchase the license in our control panel, and then you can go up to 128 channels. So when you're having your own surveillance system with your own NAS, you don't have to worry about if you're running out of the storage space, because for the current NVR around the world, I think you'll get like a 10 bay top. Yeah. So we have double of the storage space, more than double. So that is why we will especially put it right here, because this is a very useful solution for you. And you have a lot of 10G and 1G of the internet ports. You can really create your own private WAN, or create your own internet or something to keep your surveillance system very safe. So let's do a demo of how can we upgrade the 4U rack mount type, and how can we install the GPU card, and how to configure the GPU card in TS.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go to the camera again.
Okay, we already changed 1U NAS to a 4U NAS. And first of all, just remove the top cover. Loose the two screws here, and you can just easily remove the top cover. And you can see I need to adjust the camera a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. These are the PCIe slots over here. You can see two short one, two long one. And we suggest you to install the GPU card in the longer PCIe slot. And before that, I would like to show you the GPU card. This is a GPU card, and just like we mentioned before, most of the powerful GPU card, the wise is around 2 slot wise, and normally they will need an extra power for a GPU card. And for this one, this card is shorter, so you can easily just install it into the slot. And I will show you another card. It's a little bit heavy. Okay.
Oh, it's a Tesla, right? NVIDIA Tesla.
This is the NVIDIA Tesla. So you can compare these two cards. The length is quite different. The card of this one, I remember that it is over 200 millimeter.
Oh.
So that's why we need to design enough spaces.
Yeah.
For this kind of card.
Yeah, and for other materials inside it.
Yep. And how to install this card, and this area as our power supply, we offer you extra connector. These are the power connector for the GPU card. For example, this is AMD R9. It has 8-pin power connector here.
Yes.
And also we offer the connector over here. Just plug the connector into the GPU card, and then install this into the long PCIe slot.
Yes.
And before you install this into the slot, please be aware of this part. There is a latch over here. That is, in case you have a very long card, you need to fix the card. So after you install this card into the slot, the latch will lock the card. So when you want to remove the GPU card, remember to push the latch and then
take it out. Sure. Yeah, very easy.
Okay, that is how we install the GPU card.
Yes.
So in this case, you can install this one, AMD.
The Tesla.
Yeah.
And we still have plenty of time, plenty of space doing something.
Right.
We can install something else.
Both of them are 2 slot wise GPU cards, so the space is quite enough for your application.
Sure. So what about the DDR4?
Okay, DDR4 memory slots are they are right here. It's just like install all the memory
for computer.
Yes, right. It's easier, and we have pretty enough space for your hands to work here. Just there are two clips, put the memory in,
and lock it up.
Lock it.
Yeah,
and
that'll be
that's
done.
all.
Okay, so very easy to upgrade your DDR and to install your new GPU card.
Yes. Right.
So after we install the GPU card, how can we do the configuration? Like if I'm running a virtualization station, how can I use the resource from the GPU card?
Okay.
Can you show us? So let's go to the computer. Let's go to the
later on, I'm going to show you. In this case, we have two. I'm connecting to a 77XU, and there are two GPU cards are pre-installed. So the firmware of this one is 4.3.5.
Yes.
Sorry, it's the network connection. I need to relog in.
Can we go back to the slides so that we can type in the password? Okay, it's done. Let's go back then.
Okay.
Thank you.
After looking into the QTS, in the control panel, click the hardware. You can see there is a graphic card tab here. Click this one. And there are two GPU cards are pre-installed. One is the NVIDIA GP106 and the another one is GP108.
Okay.
And right now you can choose the GPU card as used by which application, and you can assign the GP106 to, for example, virtualization station. You can do the GPU pass-through to the virtualization station, and you can do GPU pass-through.
I can assign two for
yes. Before you can only assign one GPU card to one virtual machine, but right now you are able to do two. And of course, if you have other application, let's say you want to assign one GPU card to the QTS because you want to use the Plex do the transcoding. So you can do something configuration like this.
Yes.
After you select everything is done, just click the apply button and that's all.
Very easy. Yeah. So okay, so that are the steps of the demo, how to upgrade the memory and install the card and configure it. Then let's talk about the other thing that we have a 10 gigabit smart NIC without offload function.
With offload function.
With offload function, sorry. So what is smart NIC?
Smart NIC means it's just like something can help you do something more. In this case, the smart NIC means we support, we use the Mellanox function. There is the chip model is Mellanox CX4, and with this chip, it supports ISER. ISER stands for iSCSI extension for RDMA. It can offload something from your CPU.
Okay.
So that means that can make your CPU have more time to do something else. Why it works? In this slide, if you without either all the packet from from PCA to PCB, it goes to the memory, PCA circuit layer, and network driver, and a lot of stuff. When the packet goes to there, CPU it takes CPU time and resources to do a lot of things, and go to the Ethernet and pass to another PCB, and PCB also has to do those things. With ISER, the packet would from memory to Ethernet
directly without the socket layer.
No. That means CPU doesn't have to take care of those things anymore. So your CPU can have more time to do something else.
Okay, I see. So that is ISER.
Yes, that is ISER for the iSCSI.
Sure. And here is a chart to show you when we are using two of the 10G port to do the sequential read and write. This will be the result.
Yes.
Right. Okay. 不要动，我等一下把它剪掉。Then here's the next thing we are going to let you know the other part of how you can be benefit by using our racket X77XU type. Here is the first one, the VQTS. As I've known that only this 7X77 series can run the QTS.
Yeah, right. Currently, only X77. Before we have tower model, it's approachable to QTS, and right now, because there's also Ryzen, it's also X77 series. So we can also run virtual QTS in the X77XU.
Okay, no problem.
It's exactly same as the tower models.
So what can we do with the VQTS?
VQTS, just like you have a physical NAS, it has a QTS operating system, and in the physical NAS, you have another virtual NAS. In a physical NAS,
it's like a virtual VM, virtual machine, but it's a virtual QTS.
Yes, right.
I can also set my own like account and password.
Yes, you can have your independent account and all the resources. The application scenario would be something like in an office, your R&D department or different departments also need NAS. But right now you have let's say 1677XU. The capacity is big enough and the CPU is powerful enough, and we support 4 DDR4 memories can up to I think around 64 gigabyte.
Yes.
So the hardware resources is quite enough. And how if other department will also require a NAS?
I see.
You don't have to buy another physical NAS.
Yeah.
Just install the virtual QTS. It can simulate another NAS in your environment, and you can give this virtual NAS to the engineer, to the management, or to different departments.
Okay, that is a good one. And of course, we can do the dedicated resource allocation by the GPU, RAM, storage space, and internet, right?
Yeah.
So when we are running the VQTS, I can choose to have like quad core or how many other cores I want to have and how many gigabyte to the memory, something like that.
Capacity or network.
It's just like using a real NAS.
Yes.
And then here are some specifications for the users if you want to run the VQTS. If you want to run the VQTS, you have to choose the Ryzen 5 or Ryzen 7. And for Ryzen 5, you can run 2 of the QTS. Sorry, 1 plus 2 or in total 2.
In total 2.
Okay. And then for the Ryzen 7, you can run in total for 4 of the QTS inside of your NAS. Then these are the other part that what can you do with this NAS, because it has its own GPU and it has a powerful processor. So you can run your virtualization station, or you can do the container station very easy because the efficiency will be very good. And since the NAS can support up to 64 gigabyte, I think the level is really high.
Yes, that also means you can have a lot of virtual machines in a NAS.
In one NAS, yeah. And here are the other things that you can install in the PCIe cards, because this was somehow related to our QU AI, because we've all known that AI generation is coming. So everyone that related to AI, they will need a more powerful, like the computing power. And since the GPU and CPU, they can all do their own specific job. So with a good enough GPU, it can also enhance your computing power when speaking of QU AI. So here is 3 categories of why we should use a GPU card when I have such a powerful NAS. The first one will be if you are facing an AI problem, you can use the GPU card to enhance your computing power. And the second one is if you want to run a VQTS, you definitely need a GPU card, because that will make your VQTS more smoother.
No matter QTS or VQTS.
And then since the GPU can also help you to do the transcoding, so if you are facing the problem of 4K video, 8K video, or the other hardware part to do the transcoding, you will lessen the loading to your CPU.
Yes.
So you can still do the other job for your CPU and then let the GPU do all the transcoding.
Yes, right.
And the third part is the virtualization station, because you can use the GPU pass-through to enhance the power.
Yeah.
So the first one is the QUAI.
Yeah, I think everybody knows we have a QAI. It's an AI developer package, and you so QNAP offers you the software QAI. We have hardware NAS. You can store all the training data and models in the NAS, but you also need computing power.
Yes.
So I think everybody knows. Most of the computing power comes from the GPU card, not from the CPU. So that's why NVIDIA is getting bigger and bigger. So right now with the X77XU, you can install up to 2 GPU cards. That means you can assign these 2 GPU cards to the QAI. So there are 2 GPUs help you to do the training or the mathematical stuff or all the computing stuff. You can just leave those things to the GPU cards and just let CPU to do other things.
Yes. And the second reason is the transcoding by the hardware. Because if you want to use QNAP Pro, you will definitely need a GPU card to give you a better resolution and a lower CPU loading. And if you're a Plex user, you will understand that for the Plex, if you want to run the GPU transcoding, you will definitely need a GPU inside.
Right.
Yeah. So the last one is the GPU pass-through. Okay, we have 2 of the red square in the middle of the screen. I'll explain to you that the left-hand side is with GPU pass-through and the right-hand side is without. And we can see the CPU loading when we are using the NAS with GPU pass-through. The CPU loading is at 21%. But when it comes to the without GPU pass-through, the digit is at 68%. We can see a clearer view inside of our computer, but when it goes to the live view, it will get a little bit blurred. So I'll have to explain to you. And this is why we choose GPU to help us to do the path.
Yeah, and especially support 2 GPU cards. And actually, if you install one slot-wise GPU card, you can install 4.
Yes.
Yeah. So that means you can do the GPU pass-through for not only one virtual machine right now, up to 4.
Yes. So that'll be all the information that we provide you to the X77XU family. And for the 16, 12, and 8 bay will be launched in the estimated launching time is in June this year, which is this month.
Yes.
Yes. Right. And then for the 24 bay and 9 bay will be Q3. So we hope that we can give you this 24 bay and 9 bay in a faster estimated time. So if you like our video, please, you can definitely, put this video in your favorite, because this is the first time that you can see a 1U rack mount type with 4 of the 3.5 inch and 5 of the 2.5 inch of the SSD. So that'll be everything that we want to provide you for the TS-x77XU family, with 2 to 4 GPU that you can choose to install in your NAS. That will be a very powerful weapon for you to do the AI thing or to do the computing thing, transcoding thing. And we have 2 of the 10 gig SFP, and we have USB 3.1 in Type A and Type C, and we can support you DDR4 up to 64 gigabyte. That will be a very powerful weapon. And you can choose redundant or single power. As more as we can provide you, I think there will be one that can fit your satisfactory. So let's go back to the live. So we hope you like our video of the TS-x77XU. If you like it, please, you can subscribe our channel, and we will keep up bringing you more and more videos like unboxing or NAS tutorial or any other parts that you might be interested about QNAP. So thank you again for coming to our show today and show us some detail of the installing thing and upgrading thing. So we will see you next time in QNAP live broadcast. Bye bye.
Bye bye.